going through why making a lot of money is way easier, like than making small amounts of money. The reason why it's easier, um, the reason why it's so much easier to make a lot of money at one time than it is to make a small amount over a long amount of time is simply because of the nature of money. And the nature of money is to multiply. Money's natural nature is to multiply. Now, multiplication is an exponential process. Multiplication is a process that compounds, right? So let's look at this here. Let's look at this here. And when you think of money's natural nature and we put it on a graph, this is money's natural nature. Its natural nature is to exponentially grow because of compounding, which means, so compounding is the same thing as multiplication. So let's put multi. That's the same thing as multiplication. So when you are thinking about, okay, why can't I make enough money? It's probably because you're starting off with a very small sample size. And when you think about compounding again, guess what? If you start here, this curve is much steeper. But then, well, the curve is less steep if you start here. Now, if you start, let's just put it here. So this is $5, this is $10, this is $20, this is $50. Okay. If we start here, our ranking is less steep. Okay. Let's say we start with having $10. Well, we can get to $10, and let's actually make this accurate, right? So if we start at $5, that means that we can get to 10 in this amount. If we have $10 to start with, we can get to 30 in the same amount of time. And then if we have $30, we can get to 50 in the same amount of time. So what happens is that the amount that you make over time collapses on itself, and it completely just like bursts into multiplication because you're starting with more. So think about it. Every time you start with more money, it's easier to get more at the end. Let's also do this other multiplication, right? So why is it so much easier to make a lot of money than it is to just stay poor, stay broke, right? If I have $1,000 and I'm telling you, hey, I want to multiply this money 10%. Okay, you know what? Let's actually do this, right? Let's try to grow our money 10%. This is our growth factor, right? This is how much we start with. Call that our initial amount, right? And then if I have $10,000 at the same 10%, which number is bigger? If I said, hey, you're gonna make 10% on whatever I give you, would you want $1,000 or 10,000? You tell me. For the people that are here, make sure to like this video and then also comment, which one would you take? Would you take the 1,000 or would you take the 10,000? I tell you, hey, I am gonna give you money. It's gonna grow at 10%. How much, which one would you choose? If they're growing the same exact amount, you would choose the $10,000 because the $10,000, 10% of 10,000 is way more than 10% of only $1,000. Okay, so 10% of a bigger amount is more money, even though it's growing at the same percentage. So if you think about, okay, it's normal to grow your account maybe 20% a week, right? 20% growth. But if I start with more money, I end with more money. Now, the mindset belief why people aren't able to really conceptualize this is literally because we think it's bad to have help. We think it's bad to start off in a good place. I was thinking to myself earlier, hey, what if I just, make it work? Like maybe I start a challenge where I start with $100 and I try to make it into 1,000, right? Small-mindedness. But then I thought to myself, well, if I could just start with 10,000, I would get to my goal way quicker. and I would have a lot more money at the end of the challenge. Why would my brain immediately start with wanting to go to like, oh, we're gonna just make 1,000 and make 100 into 1,000? Like, that's so low minded. Hi. The reason why this is so low minded is because you can do so much more with just starting higher. That's why if you go to my merch, most of my merch says a saying. It says work harder, work harder, and then work higher. Thank you guys for the likes. So when you think about it, right? Everyone says work smarter, not harder. Kalia Mack says work nor harder nor smarter, work higher. Stop working. It's like people say work smarter instead of harder. No, don't work smart. Don't work smart. Work higher. So work hard is here. And people say work smart. Kalia Mack says work higher, right? Work higher. Start with a bigger amount. And so this also relates back to getting help. Like it's hard to think that, okay, if we're growing at the same amount, what if I just start with more? What if I just started with more money, right? And so I was also thinking, okay, when you think about a business and you say, oh, well, I just want to start by getting 5 clients. Well, it's easy. It's just as easy to get 5 clients as it is to get 50. So why are you only trying to get that small amount of clients? It's because our brains are so wired to feel like, oh no, we have to work our way up. We have to work our way up. That is the stupidest thing ever. That's like saying, hey, I know I want to build a big business, but you know what? What if I just hire one person instead of the team? Instead of all the people that I know I have access to and the 5 people I could pull together to make this work, what if I just work with one person and I just make it work? That is a really scarce mindset. That is a scarcity mindset. Why? Because you are allowing yourself to think about the fact that you need to work your way up. Stop thinking that. Today, go around your entire day and keep asking yourself, in what ways am I trying to work my way up? In what ways, thank you guys for the likes. In what ways am I trying to work my way up the ladder? In what ways do I subconsciously feel like I need to start at the bottom? Like, I need to start here. I need to start here. Money is not going to start compounding crazily until you get over here. So why are you trying to start down here? And like, everything's going to grow at the same rate. Everything's going to grow. Like everything, money in nature wants to grow exponentially. You're literally making it add. Like, you think of money in addition, you're like $10 plus $10 plus $10 plus $10 equals $40. Mathematics is like, okay, well, what if we could get this thing that's $10 and sell it 4 times? Okay, but now I already know that I can sell it. So now it can exponentially grow and sell that $10 thing 1,000,000 times, right? But also, you have to remember that like our brains are so wired to want to work from the bottom. So in what ways are you trying to work from the bottom? In what ways are you trying to work from the bottom? And this is not the only thing. This is literally one of the 7 things I'm talking about in my new webinar of the financial habits you have right now that are literally making you poorer faster than they could ever make you rich. There's so many things. Thank you guys for the likes too. There's so many things that you think are making you richer because you were told to do them, but they're literally making you poorer. Imagine, would they tell you to do certain things with your money, like just outwardly tell everybody the same exact thing on all these commercials, if if it was actually helping you? Morning, you are preaching. Thank you for this information. Yes, you're welcome. Like, this is like, would they tell you outwardly? No, they wouldn't, because millions of people are gonna watch those ads. And guess what? If they can get millions of people to fall for the same lie, then you're going to be poorer faster than you could ever get rich. If you think, like all these commercials I'm seeing are saying like, oh, we want to help you to get your small business off the ground. They don't even believe in small business. They don't believe in that because they understand if I start from the bottom and I start down here, it's going to take me forever to get on this curve. What they're doing is starting here. And that's what I'm talking about in my new webinar. It is 4 different sessions and it only costs $67. I'm going to put the link in this description box underneath this video. I also posted about it on my Instagram story today. So I'm going to put my Instagram down below as well. And you can get it through my Instagram if you prefer to message me directly, because I know y'all can't message me directly off of YouTube. So either way, make sure to connect with me to get into this webinar. I promise you these 7 things that you're currently doing with your money that you've been told are complete lies. Like, there's so many lies, and I can't wait to break all of them down. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. I appreciate the likes and you guys supporting in here and staying tuned into this information because it is so important. But until then, I will see you guys